All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're digging into a pretty radical idea. What if all those traditional paths to finding meaning in life, the ones our parents and grandparents followed, what if they're actually holding us back? We're going to break down this argument for finding a totally new purpose, especially when it feels like the old maps just don't work anymore.
So let's start with this question right here, because it really gets to the heart of it. Maybe you're in your 50s, maybe older, maybe younger, but you've probably felt this. You've done everything you were supposed to do, and now you're kind of looking around thinking, okay, now what? What's my real purpose here? It's that feeling of being a little bit lost that we're really going to get into.
And, it's totally natural when we feel lost to look backwards, right? We look to tradition, to the way things have always been done for comfort and answers. But here's the big question this whole idea pivots on. What if we're trying to navigate today's world with a map from 100 years ago? I mean, the landscape has completely changed. Okay, so our first section is all about that search for meaning. We're going to look at why the life plans of our ancestors, full of sacrifice, might not be the right fit for us anymore. The core idea here is just how much the world has changed. I mean, think about it. The old roles, where parents pretty much sacrificed everything for their kids, that came from a time when knowledge and opportunities were really limited. But today, we live in this age of information and personal growth. So, does just repeating that same cycle of sacrifice really make sense? The argument is, probably not. It might not lead to real fulfillment for anyone involved.
All right, next up, we're going to tackle one of the biggest places people go for answers, the temple. And the perspective here is, well, it's a real game changer. The idea is that temples are meant to be schools, not some kind of spiritual convenience store. And this quote just lays it all out there, doesn't it? A temple is a school, not a place for begging. It's so direct. The whole point is that maybe we've got the purpose of these places all wrong. It's not supposed to be about going there to ask for things, to beg for good fortune. It's supposed to be a place you go to learn, to gain wisdom, to actually work on yourself.
And this is such a great example of that idea in action. Think about the simple act of bowing. The argument is that it's not about asking for something like, please give me this. No, it's a total reframe. It's an admission. It's you saying, you know what? I was wrong. I've messed up. I don't have all the answers, and I've come here to learn.
Okay, this slide really breaks it down. On one side, you have what's called shinjong, which is basically just faith. It's transactional, it's about asking for help, performing rituals, hoping for good luck. But on the other side, you have jonggyo, or what's being called true religion. And that's completely different. It's not about asking, it's about learning. It's a path to getting wisdom and actually growing as a person. The big critique here is that a lot of modern religious places have gotten stuck on the left side of this chart, in the asking for stuff business, and they've forgotten that their real job is to teach.
So if we're questioning tradition, that leads us right into our next section. And this one's a big one. We're going to look at a takedown of one of the most common rituals out there, ceremonies for ancestors.
So, what are we talking about exactly? The ritual is called Chendoje. And it's a pretty common ceremony in Buddhism, where a family basically pays to have a ritual performed that's supposed to help guide the spirit of a deceased loved one into the afterlife. But here's where the argument says there's a huge misunderstanding. The paid ritual, that's called Chendo. But that's being contrasted with this other idea, Jaidoro, and they are not the same thing. Chendo is transactional. It's like trying to pay a toll to send a spirit somewhere. But Jaidoro, that's educational. It's not about pushing a spirit away. It's about teaching that spirit why it's stuck, helping it understand its own earthly attachments so it can finally let go on its own.
And here's the bombshell, really. The argument is that Chiendo, the paid ritual, it just doesn't work. Plain and simple. A spirit isn't hanging around because someone forgot to do a ceremony. It's stuck because of its own attachments to the world. So you can do the ritual, but they just come right back. So it really boils down to this. You just can't buy a soul's passage to the next place. It's not for sale. The real problem isn't a lack of money or ceremony. It's the spirit's own attachments. And the only way to get free, truly free, is through understanding. Understanding why you're holding on, and then making the choice to let go. Okay, so if the old traditions and rituals aren't the answer, then what is? That's the big question, right? And that brings us to our fourth section, which is all about a new, proactive mission for how to live a meaningful life. And this introduces a really powerful concept, Hongik Ingan.
It basically translates to humanitarian leaders. And the idea is that this is our true identity now. Our purpose in this modern age isn't to be asking for favors from the universe. It's to live out a mission to actively help and serve the world.
And this is where the stakes get, like, cosmically high. This isn't just some nice self-help idea. It's framed as a spiritual duty. The claim is that the souls who are here today as these humanitarian leaders, well, they are the reincarnated souls of past leaders, like kings and generals, who built up a ton of karmic debt. And this life, right now, is their very last chance to pay it off by dedicating their lives to helping other people. So, how do you actually do that? Well, it's laid out as a pretty clear 3-step path. Step 1, acknowledge your debt. Basically, stop asking for things and realize you have a duty to give back. Step 2, dedicate your life to humanity. Pour your energy into things that benefit the world around you. And step 3, achieve true liberation. Because fulfilling this mission isn't just a nice thing to do, it's presented as the only way to finally clear that karmic slate and find real freedom. And that brings us to our final section, which really brings this whole idea home in a very personal way. We're going to see how this mission completely flips a core cultural value on its head: filial piety, or our duty to our parents. And wow, this is such a powerful way to wrap things up. The ultimate takeaway is this: real filial piety isn't about all the rituals you do for your parents after they've passed away. It's about how you live your life right now. It's about living a life that's so brilliant, so purposeful, and so good that your parents, whether they're here or not, have zero reason to worry about you. That is the greatest act of love and respect you can show them. So we end right where we started, but with a new perspective. We've taken apart tradition, we've rethought temples, we've questioned rituals. And now the final question is for you. If the old maps don't work, what is the unique mission that you are here to fulfill?